Mugwei, what is the issue again?
Yes, I knew how you came up with those combination, but what I'm asking is why on 1, 2 you can have a negative and another part it is a positive.
Okay. Okay. If I don't love something, I award it negatively. So it is these numbers you can generate it using the message here from this example. So if someone says, I prefer, what you prefer, you give it a higher score. What you don't prefer, that means that these negatives are telling you that there is no single paper that can be published in with two different wordings. Word and word perfect cannot happen. That's the meaning of a negative, that you cannot publish with these two, word and word perfect. That's the meaning of a negative. So it's a matter of interpreting a question and give it the way you want it. Or you can give them a 0, 0. It will be still the same. Am I clear on that? If something cannot happen,
I beg your pardon.
We are saying because a paper cannot be published with the different wordings, word and word perfect, the two cannot intersect here. We give them a negative to mean that these ones cannot happen. That's a negative. That's how we can generate them. So you can generate them with different figures again, and you come up with the two Nash equilibrium. So you don't necessarily say it must be 2, 1, and so on. No, you can give them other figures. The same way you can generate a game from here. I show you when you come back physically. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Continue.
Another example of coordination game. Another example of coordination game is where there are two lovers, James and Tina, who want to meet for love affair. James and Tina, today is Women's Day. So James and Tina want to meet for love affair, maybe around the Valentine's Day. If James decides to call to discuss on where to meet, just moments after Tina picks up the phone, there is a technical problem, and there is a technical problem. There is a technical problem, and the connection is broken. James's strategy is either to call back or to wait for Tina to call. If both call back, the line rings busy and both cannot talk and meet. If both of them decide to wait for the other's call, they wait longer and they won't talk and meet. The two equilibrium in this case is wait and a call, or call, wait. It does not matter who calls back, but only one person can call and the other must wait. So in this game, just tell me, between James and Tina, who is going to call back?
James.
James is going to call. Eh?
We can't know.
You can't know.
I think both of them can call. Like any of them can call.
Any can call. Either way.
Lonnie, what are you saying?
Any of them can call.
I'm like, for the two, I think James can call or Tina can call. But all of them, they cannot.
Yes, that's what we know. One of the two has to call back if we are to meet.
Yes.
But the question is, who is going to call? Because there are two equilibriums.
We cannot tell here, sir.
You cannot what?
I cannot tell.
You cannot tell. OP or Colin, who is going to call back between James and Tina?
Yes, I think it's James who will call first because he needs Tina most.
Yes?
I think it's James who will call because he's the one who
It is
will
James who is
need.
going to call.
Yeah,
Why?
because he needs Tina most. Needs to meet Tina most.
Yes?
Hello?
So you're saying here that one of the methods of the coordination game is to attempt a pre-attempt game.
No, before you go there, I'm
don't know
asking you who is going to call back.
all of them can call back.
No, but we are picking one.
Okay, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I think
To me, I think, sir,
Mm-hmm.
that if you're looking at Tina and James,
Uh-huh.
first of all, we are saying that each of them can call, but you remember that James is the same guy who had started the love affair.
Okay.
James will call because he wants to
So I think that James will be the one called. Emmanuel.
James will call back since he needs Tina most.
Oh. It is not automatic. Jingo.
I think James will call because he was the original caller.
You are the original caller.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to see that coordination. Who is going
Mute
to coordinate?
everyone. I will coordinate.
You coordinate. You have to coordinate and one calls back. Because when you both of you call each other at the same time, the phone cannot go through. You agree?
The number will be the number will be busy calling.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay. Now, this is how I have responded to it. That it does not matter who calls back, but only one person can call and the other must wait. Have you heard?
Okay.
Eh? One must do what?
Yes, sir.
Must
But-
wait.
excuse me, sir.
Uh-huh.
You've been asking us for the person that is going to call, and the reason that you're giving us is contradicting the question that you've been asking.
I'm not contradicting the question,
So according
but
to
sir,
you, who is going to call us?
I'm not contradicting. I'm answering this question in this way, and you make your final judgment. I'm saying is it does not matter who calls back, but only one person can call and the other must wait. So this is the solution here. Either call, wait, or wait, call. Now, in this current situation, the responsibility here, I'm saying the responsibility, the onus is on the original caller or one who needs the other one most. Have I answered you, sir?
Yeah, thank you.
One who needs the other one what? Most
more.
will call back. Am I clear?
Yes.
Between you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend, who needs the other one most?
Boyfriend.
All of us.
Boyfriend.
Just the same.
The way we call the verb.
Okay. Now I'm giving you an alternative of solving coordination game. One other method of solving coordination game is an attempt to preempt the game by making some type of move before the game. No, I'm giving you another possible solution. You can always to know that, for example, in the previous case here, you may decide to call all your friends and inform them that if you ever make a call and it is interrupted, you never call them back. That implies that if those guys know that James doesn't call back, that means that the solution is for you to follow back, because James's behavior was already told. You know the behavior that this guy does not call back. That is pre-attempting the game. Have I answered you?
So what if now James calls first and you find that Tina has gone for something and doesn't pick? What do we refer that one to now?
How do you what?
How do we refer to that?
When someone does not
like
respond.
When somebody does not respond.
I'm designing this game in this way. Call, wait. Call, wait. So this is W. So one, we have call here. Both of them call, we say the phone link is busy. Here, they cannot meet when both of them call it. But call, wait, and wait, call is where they can meet. They can only meet here, wait and wait. When both of them wait, they wait until Jesus comes. Here, no meeting. Meeting is not possible when everybody is waiting for the other to call back. And also when here, both of them call each other, they cannot meet. But one person has to call and the other has to wait. So that is the game I'm trying to construct. Am I clear?
Okay,
so
sir.
I've given you, James won't call back because he's ever broke. Okay, those are your answers, sir. I don't know. But the one who needs the other must call back. So that is what I've given you solution to coordination games. How do you pick the best one? Okay, question. The question is here. Consider two firms that are merging two divisions of large firms and have to choose a computer system to use. In the first, the two firms have used different systems. System I, and System A. Each firm prefers their own system, and the other one. So here, you see, firm 1 prefers System I because it gets higher payoff, and the firm 2 prefers System A. Why? Because the systems are not incompatible. You cannot have a computer system where both systems are applied. No. That's why here there is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So how do you request for the new equilibrium? Assuming Credit Bank and DFCU are merging the two systems, which system are they going to adopt? Are they going to adopt for Credit Bank, or they are going to choose for that of DFCU?
They will want to use their own.
So let us solve the equilibrium. When firm 1 chooses System I, firm 2 responds with which one? If it responds here with 0, it gets 0. If it responds with the System I, it gets 1. So 1 is higher than 0. So it will pick here. If firm 2 chooses System A, what happens? Firm 2 responds with which one? Here 0, here gets a payoff of 2.
2.
If firm 2 if firm 2 uses System I, that means that they have locked you along this column. If they have locked you along this column, which one will you respond? Between 2 and 0, you respond with this one, because 2 is higher than 0. If someone locks you along here, you respond with this one. Here you get a 0, here you get a 1. So you respond with 1 here. So that means that the equilibrium is either both firms choosing system I or both firms choosing system A is the equilibrium. Which one will they end up with? I'm saying it will depend on the sum condition which I've told you in advance. They have to sit together and choose between systems I, both firms adopting systems I, or they're adopting systems A. They have to coordinate. That's the meaning of coordination. They have to choose between this and this one. So that's the meaning of coordination games. We can also have a game where there is no equilibrium. We can also have a game where there is no equilibrium at all, where the two will not be in equilibrium. Where the two will not have an equilibrium at all. So, and we are going to use the Nash equilibrium theorem that says that every game with the finite, the word is countable, number of players and the finite number of pure strategies has at least one Nash equilibrium. Therefore, there is that a game with infinitely many strategies might have no equilibrium. In some situations, there can be players with opposing preferences, and in such a cases, there will be no Nash equilibrium. When your preferences are opposing each other, you have no Nash what? Equilibrium. For example, we have an unestablished firm and a newcomer to the market of a fixed size have to choose the appearance of a product. Have to choose the appearance of a product. Each firm can choose between two different appearances for the product. Call them appearance, we are calling them A and a B. The established producer wants the newcomer's product to look different from its own. Why do you think that they want your new products? If you are coming to the market, your products want to look different, because you may ride on my own color or my own color, and people are used my product, and you take away my customers because they may think that the products are the same. While the newcomer wants its product to look exactly the same. In such a situation, the equilibrium will not exist because your preferences are totally different. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree? Can I get some responses? Do you agree?
Yes, master.
Yes.
Why do you think that they won't have an equilibrium?
Yes, doctor.
Yes?
Because they are contradicting.
We have got many.
They are what?
They are contradicting. There is some opposition between the two.
They have opposing preferences.
Yes.
For example, in your life, we have a legally married woman, okay, and a threat. You may call them a side dish. The side dish want to share the same man, but the legally married want to have the man alone. In that case, they won't be have an equilibrium. Do you agree? Eh?
Yes.
Okay. When you do this, if firm 1 chooses appearance A, what will be the response of firm 2? Firm 2 respond with which one? You respond with B. If firm 1 chooses B, this one will respond with A. If this one chooses this, then this one respond with this. If this one chooses this one respond with this. At the end, there won't be any equilibrium there. So we can go to games of plain substitute and plain complements. Games of plain complements and plain substitutes. The payoffs. Remember, the payoffs measured in terms of teacher to either partner in a relationship, like marriage. Like marriage is jointly determined by each one's effort they put in. Now I'm talking to you, as you undoubtedly know, one of the more important decisions you make in your own life is how much you put into your relationship. Am I clear, guys? Am I clear?
No.
Yes.
How much effort you are going to put into your relationship will determine its success.
Yes.
Do you agree that?
It depends.
Yes.
It depends on what?
Yes.
Now I'm teaching you the relationship game. Listen properly. In this relationship game, because both of you have payoffs, do you agree? There are two players. There is a man and a woman. Both of them are players in that game, and they have payoffs. So in this relationship game, the strategies you make should be a set, should be continuous. Don't stop. It is and must be a set of non-negative real numbers.
This meeting is being recorded.
Plain substitute. Am I clear?
Yes.
Oh, Sarah.
Eh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm comparing games. I'm saying a game of plain substitute, players impose negative externalities on each other. Assuming two campusers, like I saw them last time in a video, two campusers fighting for boyfriend. As someone is beautifying herself to look more beautiful, you put lipstick, you put makeup, you design the hair, you buy expensive gifts to your boyfriend. It means that the boyfriend is going to be more attracted to you, and the other
The recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
game of plain substitute. Am I clear, guys? Together, isn't it? Because both of them, if they, I think they benefit from their man, don't they? Just a question. What do you think? What do you think, guys? I want some responses. Now, also Fiona, speak to us.
Yes, the benefit, because should he be absent or we lose? So they both benefit.
Both of them will lose. Okay, that is fine. Okay, that is a good one. Next. Next is which one? We have another response. What about playing compliments? Playing compliments, both of benefit. For example, two roommates who smoke in a room of a common airspace are playing a game of playing substitutes because each one of them is adversely affected by the other. On the other hand, a game of playing compliments, two roommates who devote their effort in keeping their compound clean are playing a game of playing compliments. Assuming that there are two roommates who sleep in Lumumba. The more you clean the room, everybody benefits. Why? If you bring your girlfriend, also finds a clean room, it appreciates both. Even me, I gain if my girlfriend also comes, in case that happens. Have you understood game playing compliments? When you discuss together in a group, that is called a game of playing what?
Compliments.
Discuss together in a group, that is called a game of playing.
Compliments.
Because both of you improve your performance. Do you agree?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, but if you compete with each other when you are hiding everything from each other, that is called a discoordination game.
Excuse me,
Am I
sir.
clear? Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, please, sir. Elizabeth.
For the other example that you've given us about
for what?
For the two ladies who are the two ladies that are having makeup and then they're injecting money in themselves so that they look attractive to a guy.
They look at what?
I thought this is this like so that they become attractive to a guy. I thought it's plain compliment. Since now the guy is getting advantageous of two, and then he can, he can mark stuff when they are two. Like if it's one, it does not work out.
Speak the message, sir. The message is these two ladies are competing for one boyfriend. They want to win someone's heart, and this guy cannot go with the two of them because of jealousy, you know, ladies. So as one, in fact, they fight even if a man, because if someone finds with his man, he can fight. So as someone is beautifying herself to look more very beautiful, it means that even you are forced to take away his time. Can you spend the whole day with both of them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have to be with one at a time. So as if you spend 10 hours the other side, here you may not, you may spend the balance for 14 hours. So as this one beautifies herself, the time of the other reduces. Do you agree? One is losing out as the other looks more beautiful.
But it's still advantageous to the guy. He has now two
When
options.
both of them are competing.
Yes, he can either begin by eating and then sleep, or sleep and then eat. So he has two options.
No, but what I'm saying in terms of ladies, who is gaining and who is losing out? I'm looking at the payoffs of these ladies. If you find one is very dirty and the other is very, very smart, what do? You go with the dirty one or you go with the clean one?
Sir, both.
You go both.
The clean one.
You go with both. And one is
like,
and the other is going to be.
You know, you have to talk to express manhood. You have to express manhood.
I go with my crush.
Okay. But what we are expecting is not to lose the message that
you might be smart, but your head is empty.
Okay, can you be in a position to convince two canvassers that both of them are your boyfriend? And you sleep them on one bed. Can you bring the two on one bed? Or the three?
It's possible.
Eh? One is going to lose out, of course. Assuming that there are two markets, MTN and Airtel, they are only here. Do you think they can act as MTN advertises more? Airtel is losing more customers. That's called a game of playing what? Substitute. Can you get it in that context? Yes? Is that okay?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. One is going to lose out in terms of market share. Do you agree?
Yes, for market share, we agree.
Okay. Okay, let me proceed. Zero-sum game. Zero-sum game is a simple game where one's payoff, one's gain is equal to the other one's loss, and that game is called a zero-sum game. The sum of the payoff is equivalent to zero. The sum of the payoff is equivalent to zero. Am I clear there? The sum of their payoff is equivalent to what? Zero. The sum of their payoff is equivalent to what?
Zero.
For example, if I dropped this game here, is it a zero-sum game? I put 2, -2. I put 1, -1. I put 3, -3. I put 3. I put 4. I put -4. Is that a zero-sum game?
Yes.
Yes.
The sum of this payoff here, 2 and -2 is 0. 3 and -3 is 0. 1 and -1 is 0. 4 and -4 is 0. So that means that is called a zero-sum game, where one whose loss is equivalent to the other whose gain. For example, in a duopoly, if there are two firms, MTN and Airtel, and they are sharing a market. They are sharing a market. If this one gets 20% and the other gets 80%, if this one, his market loses to increases, market share increases to 40, it means that he has lost, he has gained 20. The others must lose 20%.
We are not sharing. You guys are disturbing. Please mute.
That is called a zero-sum game. So it means that one who's lost is equivalent to the other one who's gained. That is what we call a zero-sum game. Kevin, what is the issue? Unmute.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
My issue has been with the examples you've been giving us. I've been hearing people complaining. For example, like the last person who complained, he was complaining about and what, but when they gave him an example of Junior or Coca-Cola and Pepsi, he understood. I was just requesting that I wish you could also give some economic examples instead of relationship examples, because some of us are perverted.
I'm not getting you properly, sir. What is the issue?
I was saying the examples you've been giving.
Let others first mute. Let others mute, please. Apart from Leonard, can you mute yourself, please? And we listen to Kevin. Yeah. Speak again, please.
So I was just requesting that on top of the relationship examples, you also give us economic examples, because someone was arguing recently, and when you gave them an example about Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they understood. But at first he was arguing that he can have two girlfriends and his benefit.
Yeah.
So I was just requesting for some economical examples, because it would help me understand better, because also the relationship examples, some of us are perverted.
Some of you are what?
Some
of you are what?
Perverted.
You are converted. All
perverted.
examples I give are economics, sir.
Not
Kazungu.
They are economics, Kevin. Economics is about the study of individuals, firms, and their interaction in the market.
Yes, sir. Now, I'm just requesting that when you give us an example,
please,
individuals.
First listen. The individuals I've talked about, two individuals, how do you interact? And how do you interact? That is in your relationship. For example, I've given you in the introduction of last lecture, when I was introducing, I told you that this game theory is going to be discussing about interaction between different individuals, different firms, different governments, and so on. So when I've given you an example, for example here, consider two firms are merging into two divisions. This is an example of firms. I've also given you battle of sexes game. Why is it called battle of sexes? Because for you to coordinate between a man and a woman is an example of two individuals interacting together and having two Nash equilibriums. So the word equilibrium is an economics. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it's not about
Thank
for
you.
now. Your mind has gone on that man and woman are interacting, but I'm saying the message we are communicating. They have two preferences. One prefers. Preferences are taught in utility. Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Is utility an economic concept?
Yes, it is.
When I say the man prefers football over basketball, isn't it economics?
It is economics.
So, and here I'm teaching it in the context of game what?
Theory.
Game theory. I've said consider two academic tutors. These are two individuals. What do you need?
No, sir, I was just saying that I remember very well when you taught us about the players. You told us individuals are players, firms are players, and governments are players.
Yes.
But I was just requesting that whenever you give us, like how you explained to the previous person, you give him a
I use
very nice
all
example.
of them. I use the firms, I use the governments, I use the individuals. And in these individuals, I've given, for example, games of playing. I've said coordination games. I've given you 3 different examples, or even 4. I've given you 2 partners who are in a relationship. They want to meet for love affair, and the payoffs. The payoffs I've not given, but I'm saying the final equilibrium. One has to wait. The other one has to. They have to pick one. That's the main message there. I've given you 2 firms merging software, and I've said in the end they have to choose between the 2 softwares. That's an example of coordination games. I've said I've said this is all this. Whatever example I teach here, everything is the way I examine economics. So don't teach me relationship in terms of history. No, I'm teaching game theory. That's why I'm using these examples in terms of game theory.
I raised my case.
The same way, if you give me that example that this one is going to meet for a love affair, and you are bringing it in the context of a game theory, that is it. And it is the textbooks is also there on that course outline. You'll find those examples. Am I clear, sir?
Yes, I rest my case. I'm sorry for wasting our
you
time.
even go there and find those examples in those textbooks. The way I've given them. Yeah. So don't go in the other. For you are looking at love making sex. No. I'm looking at the payoff. What do you get if you do there? Okay. And why do you? I'm looking at what motivates you to go for that relationship is the payoff. Am I clear? That payoff which you get when you go for that game is what I'm teaching. Am I clear? So I've told you 2 ladies competing for attention. That is an example. It can be also be 2 firms competing for market. One is losing, the other one is gaining. That is also an example of 2 firms. Okay, zero-sum game. I'm done with that. I've given you an example. We can also have an example of game.
Excuse me, sir.
Discoordination. Games of discoordination and the games of mixed strategies. Listen very carefully here. Games of discoordination and the games of mixed strategies. I'm saying games of discoordination. Okay? Discoordination will have also no equilibrium. Games of discoordination will have no equilibrium. No Nash equilibrium in discoordination games here. No Nash equilibrium. That's what you have to note in discoordination games. And what are we saying? What we are saying is, consider a party game where 2 ladies choose to attend one of the two weddings. One lady, Rita, wants to attend the same party as the other one, Kase. While Kase wants to avoid Rita. Have you picked that message?
Yes, sir.
Have you picked that message? One wants to be with Rita, the other want to avoid the other. The other example can be a pastor here who was recently introduced and denied. The wife wants to be with her and the man does not want. So Kase wants to avoid Rita and Rita wants to be with Kase. So this is how I formulated this game. That when Rita attends party A, Kase loses out if they are on the same party. But if Rita is on different party, Kase gains because they don't want to be together. That's how I formatted. In this case, if you try to solve the Nash equilibrium, you won't have any Nash equilibrium here. You won't have any Nash equilibrium. You won't have any equilibrium because these two will never sit together and agree to be in the same place. Am I clear with these coordination games?
No.
I'm saying this coordination game, they want to have, they want to be in an equilibrium. Kathy, remember this is an example where Rita want to attend the same party as Kathy, meaning that Rita will gain when they are on the same party. Either party A, Rita gains 1, or they are on the same party, party B, Rita gains. But Kathy want to avoid Rita. So they won't have an equilibrium in that case. That's a message I'm delivering here. Now, when I come to mixed strategies, we arise if the strategies are chosen randomly, and also you are playing a game where one party wins and another one loses. And each player has the capacity to conceal or to hide their strategies. The equilibrium strategies is going to be mixed strategies. The examples here, we have sports and terrorism. If we know Man U is playing Man City, if you use the 4-4-2 game style and you lost the other time, it means that if you continue with the same style, you lose the game. So you have to keep on changing your strategies. When it comes to terrorists will always keep on changing, applying mixed strategies. The strategy which they used to win the previous time, it is already known to the other player. So they have to get new strategies of winning this time. Russia and Ukraine. If you know Ukraine is very strong on the ground, they have to change. Russia has to change the tactics if it's to win. So the moment you use one strategy this time, it is known to the other player. So if you continue using that strategy, you may lose out the game. So that means that the equilibrium strategies you are going to use must keep on changing such that you remain not predictable. If you copied last time using a handout, this time change. Because if you were caught last time using a handout, and this time you also use a handout, you'll be caught again. So you have to use mixed strategies, meaning that you keep on changing because the game is repetitive in nature. You have to keep on changing your strategies. That's the meaning of mixed strategies. Surprise us and change your tactics of copying. If you are a terrorist, if the other time they invaded in a bar, this time they went to a bus. The other time they went to CPS. They keep on changing. They are not predictable when they will come. And they don't repeat the same strategy they used last time. That means that they apply mixed strategies. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes,
what is the issue?
Yes, the other time we had the 2, we had the 0, we had the negative. So for this case, I'm asking, I cannot just find a question where I have to determine those combinations. Because for that
here,
case,
I've just formulated, you can even formulate it using any numbers. I can put a 2 here, I can put a 1 here. These are
likewise,
numbers
you can have a negative.
But the message should be 1, Kathy gains, Rita gains when they are together with Kathy. That's the formulation you have to think about. Okay, that's the main message there. So don't worry about the numbers. This one you can formulate by thinking your own and say who gains. Who gains means that you give that person a higher payoff than the other. That's the meaning of gaining, and the other losing out. The one who loses, you can give him a 0 or even a negative. That's a message you should be having in your head. Am I clear?
Yes.
You can form it with your own figures.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Fiona, what's the problem?
Does it mean that to accord those numbers will depend who is going to win and give them the rank.
Who is gaining, depending on the message they have given you, who is gaining and who is losing out. They are saying Cathay gains when they are together on the same party. So either party A or party B. When both of them together, this one means that must get a higher pay of Cathay, Rita. Excuse me. So I'll show you how we formulate these numbers. I want to go to about 2 slides remaining. I want to talk about sequential games. Sequential games. Sequential games are games where you play in phases. In phase 1, in phase 2, one moves before the other. One moves before the other. Those are called sequential games. This implies that players who move first have the ability to influence the game, and the players who move later in the game have additional information what other players have done in a game. So that means that this can be represented by what we call extensive form. Extensive form of games, which we studied. Extensive form is an example of sequence. One player moves first before the other. Like in oligopoly, we have leaders and followers. One makes a decision, one determines an output first, then the other followers moves later in the game. That is one I can talk about here. Example, consider a coordination game, which we studied the previous James and Tina. They can be, we can represent this game in a tree diagram here. Here. So they are choosing between the two, word path, word and word perfect. This one is, I don't know who's going to move first. This one is either who moves second, word or word perfect, word or word perfect here. So the 4 equilibriums here, we have word and the word. Word and the word is the 2-1 here. We have word and the word perfect. Word and the word perfect is this one. We have a word perfect first here, then with word, which is here, which is coming with this payoff, and then finally this. So if we are to solve this equilibrium, we solve these equilibriums using a methodology called backward induction. We use a method that is called backward induction. And in this case, we start with the second player. We start with the second player, and if we cross out all those branches that will never be chosen by player 2, we use backward induction. In this case, if you look here, here, this along these branches, player 2 has a payoff 2 here and a negative 2 here. Which branch will never be chosen? This one, which has negative 2, we cross it out.
Negative 2.
Yeah, we cross out that. That player 2 will never choose that branch because you get a lower payoff. What about here? Here he has a payoff of 1. Here he has a payoff of negative 2. Which branch will never be chosen by player 2?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. This one will never be chosen. We cross out that branch. Now we move backward to player 1. If we move backward, we ask ourselves, between this player these two branches, this one and this one, which branch will never be chosen by player one? When he moves here, he gets to a payoff of 1. When he follows this branch, he gets a payoff of 2. Which one will never be chosen?
1.
1.
1. So this one is cancelled out. This one is cancelled out, and the final equilibrium will remain with only word and word. Word and a word with the payoff, which is 2, 1. That means that the coordination game, if you use backward induction, it is able to determine player one who moves first is able to influence the game, and they go with the word perfect because it is what he prefers most. That is called, in this case, that is one way of solving inertial coordination game. And coordination game is a game of sub-perfect that is not, does not yield a perfect equilibrium, because it gives you two equilibriums, and the two equilibriums are not optimal. Does not give you the best outcome to choose from. So I want to stop at
This meeting is being recorded.
1.
What is AD?
45.
5. What is AE?
60.
0.
0. What is the BC?
89.
89.
89. What is the BD?
01.
01.
1.
What is the BE?
0.
02. Now we start with the player 2. Which branches will never be chosen by player 2 along here? Between this and this and this, which one will never be chosen by player 2?
D and E.
E and did you agree? Here he has 9, here he has 1, here he has 2. Which will never be chosen? D and E. You cross out this. D and E will never be chosen by that player. You cross out that. What about here? Which will never be chosen? Which branches will never be chosen by player 2? This is player 2.
C and
E.
C and E. We cross out this and this one. Now we turn to player 1. We turn player 1. When he goes, he picks this branch, he gets 8. Do you agree here?
Yes.
When he picks this branch, he gets a 4. Which one will never chosen?
D.
Never choose which branch? And finally it becomes what?
C.
This which is payoff is 8, 9. The equilibrium strategy are B and D. These are strategies. These are the payoffs. Is it clear now?
Yes.
No, sir.
Is it? Yeah?
No, sir. Like, following, but what are we doing?
The recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
I don't ask them their pay-offs. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes,
No.
doctor.
Yeah, that's how you do that. And you continue like that. What are you saying?
Pardon.
Excuse me, sir.
I tell you which.
Okay, sir. Does it mean that if we go by player A, we shall go by D?
Here, we shall go by what?
If we go by the first player, shall we choose D?
Shall we choose E? No, you have to continue. You have to continue this game. Here.
No, just my question was on that one.
4, 0. That is FA. Here, FB is what? 1, 1. Here, 2, 2. Here, 3, 2. Which one will never be chosen by player 2 there? Here I get 2.
A will not be chosen.
Which one will have to be chosen? This one also want to be chosen, isn't it? And this one. Okay. I think I can change one here and I leave this C. Maybe I leave, I put a 4. This was a 4, yeah. This was a 4. So what about this was a 4, the last one was a 4. So what about here? You will choose C. So if you are to compare, here what do we have? Key 0, 1. Here 1, 0. 2, 5. And a 4, 0. Which one will never be chosen by player? I think this one of 5, so the rest are out. This one is out, this one is out, this one is also out. So what about player 1 now? Player 1 is here. This was the rest was player 2. Player 1 along here. If he passes here, he gets a payoff of 4, of 2. If he passes here, he gets a payoff of 3. If he passes here, he gets here. So you will choose this one of 4. That's how you solve the here. So we are ending. That's the end of chapter 2. When you come back, I will remain with one topic.
Online lecture. They put a lecture. So I move away from
what? The class has ended, guys.
You are looking at Doctor.
Yes, please.
Personal dilemma.
To the last figures are true and they are.
Don't talk about the Squid Game.
I do what?
I'm asking.
What
if the last figures are true and are equal?
What if the two are what?
Are the same. Like the values are the same when you're choosing.
They are equally preferred. The person will remain indifferent between the two. That is the coordination we are talking about that will come in. Okay.
Pardon, doctor.
When you have like you are saying a 2 here, and also in another side you also have a 2.
Yes.
You remain indifferent. You cannot choose between the two because they are two are equal. I'm asking you a simple question, sir. Boss.
You ask it.
If you have 2 girlfriends and both of them are equally preferred, what do you do? And you want to marry one, what do you do?
You just have to go with
it is
and enjoy both.
You do what?
It is impossible.
Enjoy both. Enjoy both. You marry both. Enjoy both.
Enjoy both. Okay.
Look, I didn't understand coordination again.
If they are twins, it can't be the
We have
same.
understood.
But they are
Monica
equally
English
preferred.
tells
What
us
do
the
you do?
recording.
They are twins. What do you do? They are equally preferred. What do you
Choose
do?
the sweet.
You choose randomly.
You choose the
Choose randomly.
sweetest.
Okay, sir. That is okay. Choose randomly and go with one. Okay.
So like, I think they are different. So you must get the differentiating factor.
You must impose another factor to separate. Eh?
Yes, you have to look for a differentiating factor because ladies can never be the same.
Okay. Okay.
Doctor, I wanted to help.
Got it, guys.
Doctor.
What are you talking about? Rashid, what is the issue?
So what's your next topic?
Choice making and uncertainty is the last topic. Choice making and uncertainty. Choice making. Do you make a choice? So we are going to make a choice where we are not certain. We are going to make a decisions where we are not certain of the outcome. Okay, guys, the class has ended here.
So when do we have the test and which topic?
The test you ask the head of the paper will communicate. I don't know. You know.
Doctor, can you share with us the recording? Given for last time.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Excuse me, sir.
Uh-huh.
Now you finished. You have published the topic today, but like our class, I don't remember even the first day you started this topic. But now you are saying you have ended this. We never received any link for the introduction of this topic. How are we going to
have what
now? I'm saying, you have completed this topic, but we did not receive the link actually when you were introducing.
But I shared the same link as
I don't know
being
when you
applied
first had the
I've
class.
never changed the link. And the notes I shared them.
What about recordings of those lectures?
What?
Recordings of all those lectures.
I've been sharing with Alex. You go to Alex, he'll give you.
Excuse me.
Okay, I want to go, guys.
Bye.
Who is Alex? Sir, who is Alex?
Who is what?
Class rep.
Alex.
Alex, be a con. Yeah. And he's there. Alex, speak to the people.
Yes, doctor. Can you hear me?
Give them your phone number. Give them your phone number, please. I'm going to end the class soon. Wait. Correct, guys. Have a nice day.
The recording has stopped.